Hello and welcome to the EDCU commentary series. This is where we're going to talk to the creators of all the various videos and ask them about the behind the scenes process and what inspired them on the project. Today I'm joined by Yellow Shots.
What's up, dude? Before we start, I just want to say that this video was a group effort. A lot of people put their creativity into it, and I just want to thank them all before we start. Because, without you guys, there'd be no video. So, thank you guys. Alright, now we can start.
Alright, let's do it. With this bit here, I remember seeing the preview for that before it was released. It's got the whip pans and the zooms and the quick cuts. How did you plan that? Did you storyboard it, or did you have more of a text written script on the Google Docs document? Or
Nah, man, I had to sketch that shit. I made some very rough storyboard panels, but I just wanted to get the idea across, right? I knew from the beginning that I wanted to do something big for the opening because I do have a small channel. So if you're taking a chance on a video from a small channel and it doesn't engage you right away, then you're going to click away. I knew that I needed to hook you in right away. And I thought the best way to do that would be with action. So my approach was start with action, get the action out of the way, and then you can focus on everything else like character development and story and.
And it quite well fits the energetic tone of the video, if you know what I mean.
Oh, thanks, man.
This whole chase scene it's all the overlays and stuff, and then you use the booster gold to subvert the expectations of the viewer because they expect it to be Barry. Was that what you were going for?
Exactly. I thought it was important to establish early on the zero to hero contrast between Barry and Booster Gold. So right now we're getting a glimpse of what an average day for both of these characters looks like. Booster Gold is saving the day, and Barry is at the forensics lab. And I thought that would add to the irony later on when you find out that Booster Gold is not really who Barry thought he was. He's more of a douchebag, self-centered person as opposed to this hero that he is supposed to be.
When he gets the call from Iris, the phone comes in from the side of the frame. Was that inspired by Shaun of the Dead?
Pretty much, yeah. I put a lot of references in this video, mainly just for shits and giggles, for me to amuse myself, because it's fun. It's always fun to pay homage to movies that you like. So, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, Big Lebowski, Into the Spider-Verse, Kingsman, all these movies that I love. And hopefully you get the references. If you don't, at least I hope that you don't feel like you're missing out and it's not too distracting. You can still enjoy the video.
Alright, okay, I get it.
What inspired the use of the lens flare in that shot?
And that's just me correcting a mistake. So what happened was I finished the shot when I realized that Barry's arm was covered in dust and it looked really bad. But I didn't want to go back and redo the shot, so I figured I'd just throw in a lens flare and see what happened.
Oh, that's really clever. And then you do the transition between shots there when you have Barry's on the phone and it cuts to him at night not going. Did you have a impact over it to go with the transition?
Well, that's very Edgar Wright again, right? But it's also an Ari Aster thing. I don't know if you've seen Hereditary.
I have not.
Oh man, you should watch it. It's really good. And he does it a lot too. The night to day transition. It's pretty effective. I really like it.
One thing I quite like about this is after he gets struck by the lightning, he gets straight back up, and a lot of Flash Brick films, they have him go into the coma for months, but I feel like that would have really impeded the flow of the video.
I think it's in the comics, right? That he wakes up in the hospital, and then when he's leaving the hospital, he's about to get run over by a car, and then that's when he starts running, right? And then all of a sudden he's somewhere else, and that's when he discovers his powers?
I'm not entirely sure, I can't remember, I haven't looked at it in a while. Cut straight to the Iris scene, and I feel like that's a really nice use of a jump cut because it doesn't distract from the scene and it goes straight into the next one. Is there anything you'd like to say about the dialogue scene with Iris?
I just want to give a shout out to Ian who played Barry and Honda who played Iris. They were both amazing. Ian's been helping me out with videos for a while, God bless his soul. I mean, back when I was just getting started doing shitty content, he would help me out, and I appreciate that. Dude, and Honda's Iris, I mean, she knocked it out of the park. I remember back when I was putting this whole thing together, I was freaking out because I was like, who the f*** is gonna play Iris? And I remember Honda because she was in a video that I made with a couple of friends a long ass time ago, And I was like, okay, it's worth a shot. I hit her up and I'm like, hey man, I don't know if you remember me. We made a video a long ass time ago with a couple of friends, and I remember you were in it and that you acted in it. So would you like to be a part of the video that I'm making right now? You would have to voice a character. And she's like, well, I'm not a voice actor. I actually want to be a director. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Would you still want to be in it? And she's like, yeah. What character would I play? So I'm like, well, it's not Cornea East. Get it? Because Iris, Cornea, East, West. It's like a...
Yeah.
Turns out arresting every criminal in Central City is super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Okay, we need to talk about this part because I still can't believe that Ryan George said yes to being in this video. It's crazy to me, man. From very early on, I wanted to have that cut between Iris saying, oh, this is going to be hard, to reporters saying this was actually super easy. Well, not like that, but you know, like, this was actually fairly easy. Just contradicting what Iris said. I didn't know who was going to play the character yet. Around that time, I started watching the pitch meetings, and I thought they were hilarious. So one day I figured, you know what, it, I'm just going to hit up this guy. Be super nice and be super respectful, and hopefully he'll say yes. This was a long shot. Like, I just went for it, but I knew that there was no way that this was gonna happen. And what do you know? He said yes. I sent him the script, gave him my email, and then 2 weeks later, he sent me the lines. It was so good. He's such a nice guy, man. Shout out to him. If you haven't seen his videos, you should, because he's super funny.
I'll take it from here, Em.
Make sure our friend the Flash has a killer time.
So, what can good old Booster Gold do for you?
Let's talk about Thomas's booster goal, alright? First of all, because I promised him that I was going to talk about him, but second, he's really good. And the thing is, he actually wants to be a voice actor, like a professional voice actor. So he was really excited when we started making this. And right off the bat, I was like, okay, Booster Gold is going to be the funny character. So I was like, okay, I need someone who's very high energy and who's done acting in the past. And Thomas wants to be a voice actor. He's very good at impressions, and he's very theatrical when he wants to be. So I thought that'd be a perfect match. And it was. He was super good at it. I told him, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do a Will Arnett, BoJack Horseman type of voice.
Am I excited to be back on TV? You bet I am.
And he did, and it was great. He has that really manly, low-pitched voice, you know, so it wasn't that hard for him, but he was really into it. Like, you should have seen him behind the scenes. Even when he was not recording, he was method acting, you know? He was legit method acting. He was in character the whole time. You should have seen him. It was something special. Honestly, he really elevated this thing by a lot. And it's the reason it's as funny and wacky as it is right now, it's mainly due to him. He brought a lot to the table. He elevated it, made it what it is.
I'll take it from here. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Ah, God, lozenge. If anybody can give me a lozenge, that'd be great. So, what can good old Booster Gold do for you? All right, let's get that clean. Then we're off to a good start.
We then get to the Central City Metahuman Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
and then it cuts to the ad, and that got me.
Yeah, I kept seeing in the comments people saying, "Oh, I thought this was a real ad." I showed it to my mom, and you know she doesn't use YouTube often. So when that scene popped up, she was like, "Oh, how do I get rid of this?" And then I was like, "No, that's part of the video." Making this whole thing was a pain in the ass, man. See, here's the thing. I wanted to have another YouTube cameo, right? How we had Ryan George in the beginning. I wanted to have someone else here. And I went through a couple of people, same process as with Ryan George. Try to be nice, try to be polite, and try to pitch it as something fun. Because, you know, at the end of the day, they're doing you a favor. It's not something, you're not paying them or anything. So you want to pitch it as something fun that they're gonna like, and hopefully they're proud of in the end, or you know, something that they enjoy watching. hopefully it doesn't tarnish their reputation and it's worth a watch if nothing else. So I hit up a couple of folks on Instagram. Jessie Milestone says yes. I sent her the screenplay, and a couple of days after, she actually sends me the lines. It's all going smoothly, it's great. I put it in the timeline, and it's there for a long, long time. It's there. But after working on other scenes for so long, I went back and I realized that it wasn't as funny as I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't Jessie's fault. It was my writing. My writing was not great. It was very placeholdery. It wasn't hitting that. It wasn't punched up enough. I decided to go back and rewrite it. I rewrote it like 5 times, I think. I even got my friend Thomas to get him to do a pass on it. He did. We worked on it until we found something that we were happy with. And then once we had the new script, I didn't want to bother Jessie again, so I decided to find someone else instead. I got turned down once and twice and 3 times until Lee, I'm gonna butcher her last name. Lahad, I think, from Only Lee. And she was down to do it. I sent her some directions through text, you know. There's only so much direction you can send someone through text, but I was really counting on her comedic timing and her comedic chops, because she's really funny. She's a really, really funny creator. You should watch her stuff. She's great. She was down to do it for a while. But then it fell through. She had mic problems. It took too long. It dragged on for way too long. And once it turns into homework, you don't want to keep doing it. You know, it's something fun. You want to have fun doing it. If you're not having fun, and if it turns as a drag into some kind of burden, you don't want to do it anymore. So I don't blame her at all. The problem was that now I had to find someone else, and I was running out of time, and I didn't have enough time to find another famous person to be in my little Lego video. So I need to find someone else. I don't know who. I can't rely on these famous people because, like I said, it's a favor, so if they turn you down, you gotta be like, yes, and it's totally reasonable. I mean, it makes total sense. But it was a problem at the time because it was supposed to come out, and I really wanted to get someone cool to do the voice. What I actually ended up doing was getting a friend for college as well. We met in a web series type of class. She did an office-style web series about an alien who comes to Earth and is adapting to Earth's culture, especially American culture. And she was great at it. She was super funny, and I thought, I remember at the time watching it, I was like, oh, this girl has a lot of talent. Fast forward to when this video is about to come out, I hit her up, and she was willing to do it, and it was freaking great. I was so relieved when it came out, because she nailed the ad voice. I was really concerned because I didn't know how she was gonna sell that, and she sold it, man. She sold it. That sounds like a real ad. She even kind of sounds like Lee, if you think about it, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's the story behind it. It was a process. It was definitely a process, and it worked out in the end. I'm really glad, because some things don't work out. This worked out.
Kids will want to be you. You'll have the life you've always wanted.
When I first joined the Central City MetaHuman Alliance,
It's the fact that it talks like a regular person just cracks me up every time.
Yeah, and he's driving the car in the beginning, and Captain Cold is supposed to be the one in the back shooting. And I did have his ray gun, his freeze ray, but I was like, you know what? It'd be fun if he's just shooting regular bullets.
Yeah.
His name is Captain Cold, but he's just straight up shooting with machine guns. That'd be fun.
He's just murdering the place.
Exactly.
It's all for a greater good.
Which is...
Oh, I think marketing's still working that out.
And then obviously Barry gets angry, and you use a combination of a lot of different stock footage, and you go from parts of the video to the fireworks, and you start getting all the political pictures and the boiling kettle to represent him getting pissed off, which is great.
Yeah, that's yet another thing I ripped off, I guess. Adam McKay. I'm a huge fan. I don't know if you've seen... Have you seen Big Short?
The Big Short.
Yeah,
Oh,
The Big Short.
I love The Big Short. He's like, we've even got our own little Asian kid that does math.
He won a national math competition in China.
He doesn't even speak English. That's great.
Actually, my name's Jiang, and I do speak English. Jared likes to say I don't because he thinks it makes me seem more authentic.
Oh my god, yes. Yes, I love it.
Don't apologize. hurry up.
And it's when Barry gets disheartened and we go to about 9 minutes and 6 seconds when he starts charging up as lightning because he's so fueled and ready to fight. And he has the massive fight scene with Booster Gold. It's really dramatic and everything.
Wrong move, kid. Now you must face
Booster Gold's even got the f***ing 2021 Kids' Choice Awards.
I'll climactically fight you to the death
And just as they cut back, it just cuts back to him not being able to get out.
The original way this played out was just him blowing up the rocket. There was no big fight. So it was even more anticlimactic than it is now.
Yeah.
Let me find the comment. There's this one guy who told me, oh man, I can't find the comment right now. But he said, I love the video, but I thought the big fight in the end was a little anticlimactic. And I told him, hey man, I agree with you 100%. Even the joke, like the gag fight, wasn't even gonna be there in the beginning. It was just him blowing up the rocket. But I thought you were gonna feel cheated because Booster Gold never fights Barry. So I decided to put it in, even if it was just for a joke. And that's how it ended up being the way it is.
They got away.
Yeah.
At least we died in the explosion. Damn it.
Have you ever interrogated someone before?
No, but I don't want them to know that.
You know we can hear you, right?
And so can I. Barry Allen.
So, on the EDCU Instagram, which is @LegoEDCU, we put up a post asking for comments, and the comments we got back so far were Corey Talbot. He had a couple questions. How long did it take you to make this?
Well, when you guys contacted me, it was around September, October 2018. And then I wrote the script on and off, right, because I was working. In December, we had a script, and then we started making the animation. On and off, I kept working on it till October of last year when I uploaded it. So on and off, almost a year of work.
Why did you pick Flash?
Why did I pick Flash? He's funny. He was always my favorite Justice League character in the cartoons.
Do I seem immature to you?
Not in the least.
Corey Talbot 26 also asks, you can see that you were inspired by Edgar Wright, and he wants to know what is your favorite Edgar Wright movie. That's
a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I think I would have to say The World's End.
What?
It's not a popular answer, but I think that might be my favorite. Everyone says Hot Fuzz, and I do love Hot Fuzz, don't get me wrong, but I think The World's End's the best one. I relate to it the most, I guess.
Oh, The World's End's funny.
Yes, and it's got heart too, you know? That's what I love, the Simon Pegg, Edgar Wright team up. Whenever they write something together, it's always funny, but it's always got this moment where it catches you off guard and it gets really emotional. Like, you know, in Shaun of the Dead when he has to shoot his mom.
Oh, yeah.
Don't point that gun at my mom!
Sean, calm down!
Don't point that gun at Barbara!
In World's End, it's when he's about to drink his last pint and the friend's like, you don't have to do this, and he says, yes, I do.
You don't need to do this, Gary.
Yeah, I do. Gravity 4 Films, what YouTube? He asks, what inspired the Edgar Wright vibe that you were clearly going for with this video?
What inspired the Edgar Wright part?
That's kind of a, that question kind of contradicts itself a little bit there.
I think I got the answer. I'm sure you know this because you're as much of an Edgar Wright fan as I am. In one interview of him, he said that he loves to get in late and leave early in scenes. So since this was going to be a very fast-paced video about a fast character, I wanted to use a style that emulated that.
The final question we have in from our viewers is again from Corey Talbot, 26, and he says, "What's the plans for the future with this DC cinematic universe that we have built with LEGO?"
Oh man, well that's a question for you guys.
Where we're going next is we've got a Justice League project, Phase 2. So Phase 1 with the videos that are released, Phase 2 is on its way. Phase 2 features Cyborg and Green Lantern and many other superhero Brit films that lead up to the big Justice League event. And while I can't give away too much of what's to come in this Justice League event, we've got a Google Docs drive with a script with loads of scenes. It's going to be collaborated on with loads of different animators, all contributing a part to make it something truly special. We want it to go for more of a Brick Film Day vibe over an MBU, Marvel Brick Film Universe vibe. And I really think that that's what we're going to achieve. So I hope you guys enjoy and come back. Make sure you watch the full video, which is linked down in the description. And if you want any animation tips, just check our EDCU playlist. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, cheers, man. It was a pleasure.